Good morning, guys. I hope you had a good weekend. Today we're going to be factoring trinomials again, except for we're going to be doing what's called factoring completely. We're going to be taking out factoring a GCF first. So let's take a look at the first example. We have 2x squared plus 6x plus 4. All right, I'm doing it on a separate sheet of paper because we need more room. On Thursday, we just multiplied my first and my third terms, and we would have had an 8 in the box, and we did bars in the box. But if I look at these, I know that all three of these numbers are even numbers, so I know that 2 can go into 6 and 4. So we're going to do what's called taking out a GCF first. So we're going to divide by our greatest common factor. In this case, it's 2. And what I have left there, the 2's cancel. I'm left with x squared. 6 divided by 2 is plus 3x, and 4 divided by 2 is plus 2. So what I did was I took a GCF out first. So now what we're going to do inside the parentheses, we're going to do our bars and box. So we multiply our first term, which is 1, times our third term, which is 2. 2 goes in the box. What are my factors of positive 2 that add up to positive 3? Well, I know my factors of positive 2 that add up to 3 are 2 and 1, because 2 times 1 is 2, 2 plus 1 is 3, okay? When I set up my parentheses now to plug in, I can't forget about this 2. It has to stay on the outside of those parentheses. And I know I'm going to have x and x, and I know I'm going to have a positive 2 and a positive 1. So that is our final factored answer of a trinomial. All right, number 2, I'll just write it down. I have 4a squared minus 12a plus 8. 4a squared minus 12a plus 8. Asking yourself, what goes into 4, 12, and 8? Well, I know that 4 goes into everything, so I can factor out a 4. 4a squared divided by 4, the 4's canceled, just leaves me with the a squared. 12a divided by negative 12a divided by 4 is negative 3a, and 8 divided by 4 is plus 2. I know I'm going to leave that 4 on the outside when I factor this, so I'm just going to write it down there. Bars and box, my first term, which is 1, times my third term, which is 2. Positive 2 goes in a box. Now we're looking for two numbers that multiply to give me positive 2 that add up to negative 3. All right, this goes positive 2 times positive 1 gave me a positive 3, positive 2, and they add to a positive 3. In this case, negative times a negative gives me a positive, and negative 2 minus or plus negative 1 gives me a negative 3. So I have a minus 2 and a minus 1. And there's my factored answer. So let's look at one more example. Let's look at number 8, which is b to the 4th minus 3b to the 3rd minus 10b. This is number 8. This was number 1, and this was number 2. So now we're on number 8, okay? Now, there's no coefficient in front of the b to the 4th, all right? But I have a negative 3b to the 3rd and negative 10b. There is a greatest common factor, okay? Each one of them has at least one b, so I can take out a b. I'm sorry, this is b squared. So they each have at least two b's, I'm sorry. So I can take out a b squared. So if I divide everything by b squared, watch what happens here. Remember, when we divide, we subtract our exponents. This is b squared. So 4 minus 2, I'm left with b squared. Going the opposite direction, I know that b squared times b squared gives me b to the 4th, so I know I'm right there. Negative 3b to the 3rd divided by b squared. So we're going to have negative 3b, because remember, 3 minus 2 leaves me with b to the 1st. And the b squareds, anything divided by itself just cancels out or gives you 1. So that just leaves me negative 10. So my bars in my box. I have negative 10 in the box. What two numbers multiply to give me negative 10 that add up to negative 3? Well, if I just go through all my factors, I know I have negative 10 and a positive 1, positive 10 and a negative 1, positive 5 and a negative 2, and a negative 5 and a positive 2. Which of these adds up to negative 3? Well, it's a negative 5 and a positive 2. Remember, when I write, I cannot forget about that b squared. It's got to stay on the outside of the parentheses. And I know I have b and b. I have a negative 5 and a positive 2. Okay, on your worksheet, okay, make sure you're doing page number 2. This is page number 2. We're going to work on the rest of the problems till number 12. So you have 9 problems to do. All right. I will see you guys on Thursday. Keep up the good work.